Hello, welcome to Face West video. Today we're going to be talking about different ways to rack your gear for different types of climb. What we've got in front of us is a fairly standard rack for leading single pitch and short multi-pitch routes. The first thing we have are 6 quick draws. We also have 2 extendable quick draws which allow us to reduce rope drag. We're also carrying 3 hexes, 2 long slings, 3 cams and 2 sets of nuts. We also have a belay device, double ropes and an extra carabiner for rigging the belay. It's important when you come to rack your gear that you think about where things are going to be placed on your harness so that you can access them quickly and easily, especially when you're pumped. Okay, so first I'll place the large nuts on the left hand side of my harness. Then I'll place the small nuts on the right hand side of my harness. The 2 extendable drawers are placed right at the back in the centre of my harness. I tend to split up cams and hexes just simply so I know where they are. So I'm going to place my hexes on the left hand side of my harness behind my nuts, and my cams on the right hand side of my harness behind the smaller nuts. Next I'd like to take my long slings and all of my quick draws and place them around the back of my harness. Now you should always clip into your harness with your quick draws with the end of the draw that's going to be clipped to your gear. That means that when you grab it, you're grabbing it by the carabiner that you're going to want to clip with. Finally, these long slings can basically be racked anywhere. You can also carry them over your shoulder in a bandolier style, but you're not usually going to use these on a pitch, so they can be pretty accessible. I'm going to clip mine right round at the back of my harness. Finally, spare screw gate and belay device are again racked well out of sight on the back of my harness. These are only going to be accessed at the end of the pitch. On certain routes, you might find that you need to carry more specialist gear. Extra cams, unusually large cams, micro wires, extra hexes, or a large number of slings. That's particularly true on sort of mountaineering routes that have a lot of spikes, where you can gain very quick and easy runners just by dropping a sling over them. You can rack all of this according to the system I outlined before. But actually in some instances your rack gets so large that it's useful to have one of these. This is a gear sling, padded at the top and with a stiffened loop at the bottom. Pop it over your shoulder and you can start to clip gear in to the stiffened loop, and it gives you quick and easy access to it. This is also great when you're swinging leads because the leader has this, and any gear that wasn't used on the pitch before will still be clipped in. You can just hand it over to the second and they can lead off on the next. For more advice on what gear to carry with you on different types of climbs, you can read the article on our website, How to Choose a Rack.
When you've racked up, as Sam has already described, you need to consider the rope. We recommend for trad climbing the use of half ropes, where you use a pair of ropes. 1, 2, clearly you tie onto both ropes. This, so when you're climbing, you can clip one to your left and one to your right. This reduces drag considerably. When trad climbing, we also recommend the use of a helmet. This is particularly the case on longer multi-pitch routes where there may be loose rock that could fall. The second needs to carry some quite important equipment with them. First thing they need clearly is a belay plate to belay the leader, which they must carry on the route with them. A nut key, or some people call it a proddler, because your nuts might get stuck. Guidebook, essential on a multi-pitch route, because sometimes you need to know where the next pitch goes. Refreshment, some water, perhaps not such a big bottle, depends on how hot it is and where you are, and Sam's lunch in this bag.
Okay, so now all your gear is racked, you're ready to set off and lead your first multi-pitch climb. Good luck!